What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 10 of our HEXAGON challenge here with HEXAGON United. And today we start our Oceanic Champions League campaign, and actually we're going to finish it as well today. Guys, it's episode 10. If you watched last episode, you'll know all about the situation we find ourselves in. Today we are playing through the Oceanic Champions League in one sitting, 100% live for episode 10. I wanted to do something special. If you do enjoy this video, please smash the like button. If we could get 1,000 likes for this special landmark episode, that would be incredible. So yeah, today we are going to be doing the Oceanic Champions League. We're going to start today with the group stage, which is full of 3 single matches. After that, the top team from each group go into the semi-final, as well as the highest placed team in second place in the groups. Then there is a single-legged semi-finals, and then finally a final, which is all played, I believe, within 2 weeks. So this is going to be fun, going to be a challenge. We're going to start immediately. Of course, with us being in Oceania and being in New Zealand, some of these earlier games are kind of going to be just, I guess, taking teams on who are going to be punching bags. Amical are probably the team to be aware of in our group. They're from Vanuatu, I guess that's how you say that country. But you can see they've got this guy here, Ian Hogg, who's actually a New Zealand international. Isn't too bad of a player at all, so he's got to be a man we're wary of in our group stage. But despite that, we should do well here. We're going to take on Suva to begin with, or at least I assume that's how you say their name. I'm going to be honest, these nations, these countries, not all too familiar with them. Obviously, a lot of them islands around kind of the oceanic region, south of Asia. Not particularly kind of household names, I guess, in the world of football. I can't say, in fact, I've ever seen an Oceanic Champions League football match in real life. So this is the next best thing. We're obviously playing in this, the Champions League in Football Manager. And this is my first time playing in the Oceanic Champions League in Football Manager. Equally exciting. We are, of course, as always, playing in our white and red kit. And we're on the attack early on here. Mike Morris, out wide to Raniga, whips it in. Headed away though, but Ruffer will collect. Now to Mikey Morris, the American stallion, to James Gorski. Options on the overlap, but Morris inside. Lovemore, he's offside. Everyone sit down. No one celebrate. So yeah, this is going to be a fun episode. Episode 10, you know. I'm pretty hyped off the back of last episode's game, which if you missed, go watch it as I already said. But we won the league. I was pretty happy about that. We're still on that high. I've tried to calm down a little bit. You know, I've sat down, I've had a glass of water, I've composed myself. But today, it's Champions League time. And Ruffer with a chance. And that was almost an insane goal there by Alex Ruffer. Unfortunately for us, the keeper stood firm. And actually, at the moment, we're not winning, and we really should be winning. You guys will know Basilaj was injured previously. Unfortunately, for this competition, we did have to register players, and it all got registered before the kind of keeper crisis. And Lovemore scores. It's 1-0, finally. I was worried. I was worried for about 20 minutes there. But yeah, with this competition, we did have to register players, and Basilaj was the only goalkeeper I registered. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that if you meet. Oh gosh, we have the black pitch bug. I really should clear my cache because that fixes that problem. We'll continue on without it. I'm going to do that after this episode. Hopefully that won't be an ongoing issue. I don't see that happen too often. But it's happened right there. That might impact the rest of this game. Sometimes it just fixes itself. But anyway, as I was saying, Basilaj, our only goalkeeper registered, is injured. If we get 5 or 6 up with half an hour left, I might sub him off for an outfield player just to save legs and also to prevent an injury kind of further. With this competition and all the games being played in such a short period of time, obviously keeping goalkeepers fit, especially your only goalkeeper, kind of important. Anyway, we've doubled our league here. That is Sean Lovemore's 50th goal for HEXAGON United. And he's scoring for fun. We'll skip the 3D again. 2-0 here though. And we're doing pretty well right now. I mean, we're thumping a team that I've never heard of. Likely no one has ever heard of this team. I'm going to be honest. If you have, you're a liar. Because I don't think there's such thing as an expert in oceanic football. Sean Lovemore, though, almost got the hat-trick. That would have been nice. I might have subbed off the keeper then. Unfortunately, though, for us, he fluffed his lines. He fluffed the hat-trick. The dream start to the Oceanic Champions League for the 23-year-old goes down the drain. But yeah, this is a good start, obviously, to the campaign. I expect this group stage to not have kind of any hiccups. I don't expect us to slip up. I expect us to stomp teams, perhaps a little bit more convincingly than we're doing here. But yeah, pretty happy with that first half. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy because they'll still love it. We should probably be beating them by more. Lovemore looking demotivated and confused. kind of the story of my life, demotivation and confusion. I feel like that would be a great name for a film about my life. Anyway, we're on the attack here, almost across going in. Chettelberg, slightly ambitious effort. I don't know why I got excited from kickoff about a chance. I don't. I'm going to be honest. Although we need to defend here. Basilage. Okay, it's a good job they've not hit the target yet, isn't it? Because our keeper is injured. If we score one more, I might be tempted to take our keeper off. Because he's not really been tested yet. In fact, he hasn't been tested yet. They've not had a shot on target, so it probably makes sense to do so. But we've still got to get that goal first. Although Morris here, Gorski cutting inside, he scores. Let's take off our goalkeeper. Who do we want to put in goal? Who's the tallest player on our bench? That's probably... I know Jake Butler's not small. Does it have height on this information tab? It doesn't. Right, well, Jake Butler, you're now our goalkeeper. Congrats. Chettelberg, we'll bring on Nathaniel Foster, I think. I think we'll also bring on Jason Hicks, maybe, for Ruffer. I'm in a situation here where, especially in these early games, we can only make 3 subs in this competition. Oh, in that case, we'll just make the 1. But what I was going to say was, we're in this competition and we're kind of in a situation where I'd rather not risk injuries to our bigger players if it's not going to be kind of pivotal, I can't talk, for them to play or not play. It's not going to change the game, although, I mean, it still could technically, but we are 3-0 up here. We are looking pretty comfortable. Jake Butler now in goal, the CDM. I bet he never dreamed of this day. He never thought he'd get a chance to play in goal. I mean, he's kept a clean sheet for 20 minutes so far, so that's not bad. I think we're going to bring on Jalali for Sean Lovemore. We're going to deny him his hat-trick because I'm a monster. I'm also going to take off Jose Reyna, who's struggling just a little bit, get some fresh legs on into the team. Obviously, we've got a game in kind of 2 days' time. I think my plan between games is going to be to rest the players from training to try and get their fitness back. I'm not sure how soon our second game of the group stage is, but this is a game on a Saturday, and kind of in 8 days' time, next Sunday, the group stage concludes. And I think we might have a game a few days even before that. So kind of rotation is going to be quite important. Where's Butler going? He's kept a clean sheet. Has he? I might have just jinxed him. No, I haven't. Jake Butler, well played in the second half. In goal, proved your worth to the team. Well played, very pleased. Masalaj is loving it. And yeah, we go top of our group actually because the other 2 teams drew, which I don't know where teams were predicted to finish in our group, if I'm honest. If we quickly have a look, obviously we've looked at Suva, who we've already played. Amicale, you can see here, obviously they have Ian Hogg. And the other team is Solomon Warriors, who play in the S-League, or the Solomon Premier League, I guess that is. And their star player is Paul Mara, who looks rather underwhelming, and I should hope we can beat them. Quick, cancel the holiday, not the holiday, the continuing, because I need to send all these players on rests, is what I need to do, because I've just seen there that our next game is not for a while. Let's rest for a week. That makes more sense. Then I don't have to keep resting them. Right, Auckland City playing their first game. We expect them to spank teams. Realistically, Auckland City, obviously, the other New Zealand club in this competition, should be the team we play. They win their first game 3-1. Oh, I have a phone call. Right, I will be back. This is taking a dramatic turn. So I've actually finished now speaking to Granny Work the Space. She was just congratulating me on the fantastic first result in the Oceanic Champions League. So we can now continue on. I've got some words of encouragement in my ear. We're going to be taking on Solomon Warriors next. If we win this game, an amicale draw, I think we're actually guaranteed to qualify with 1 game left, which would be nice. So yeah, we're doing well. We've got obviously an easy game, and we should be winning all 3 of these. But yeah, we just got to continue on going. So far, so good. I feel like when you have these easier games in FM, and I know people agree with me because I always see it in the comments, but people say kind of, oh, I always win the hard games in FM, but then the easier games I always seem to slip up in. I know that feeling. I don't want that feeling either. So we'll see how we get on here. Could be going into our second game against Solomon Warriors. We are at a neutral venue, so maybe this is how the Oceanic Champions League is done, like in 2 weeks. Now, I guess it kind of makes sense. You've got lots of teams from smaller countries. You don't really want to get 1,000,002 planes back and forth between the Solomon Islands and New Zealand, for example. So playing all the games in 2 weeks probably makes the most logistical sense for the smaller islands. But yeah, looking at this game, we've got a few players struggling a little bit with fitness. Basanaj still not fit. Obviously, our players have been rested. They've improved their fitness a little bit. I might rest a few players. I think we're going to do that. I didn't talk about this guy, actually. Halucha. A player who I signed actually this January. Just a really good little wing back, really. 21 years old. Probably wouldn't have signed him unless he got offered to me by his agent. But at £500 a week on his wages, I couldn't really say no. He played for Lille last year in Ligue 1. So he was a really nice little free transfer to get in. Elsewhere, I think we're going to start Hicks. I think we'll also start Butler, who of course starred in goal for us last game. I feel like we need to just, get fresh legs on, get a few players on. Make sure that we're fit and fresh for today's game because whilst it should be an easy game, I guess it's important to capitalise on these kind of opportunities and get fresh legs in when we can. So yeah, we'll make some changes. We're not a weak team by any means with these subs that I'm making. Pretty happy, I think, with this as the team. I might also drop Lovemore for Jalali. I think we'll do that. That's the team we'll go with. So only one player, I think, staying in the starting 11 outfield. And I believe that was Rayner. I think he's the only player to keep his team. We're going to rest some players here. I'm pretty happy with the team. Looking at how they're going to set up, they're going to play defensively. They've got Ibe up front now. Obviously, this isn't Jordan Ibe. It's Eddie Ibe, and he looks not particularly good. Should win this. We really should. Things would have to go horrifically wrong for us to lose. Right. I'm going to tell the players I expect them to win. Fairly good reception from the team. Of course, this is kind of a B team now playing. You can see by the match fitness. Players not necessarily match fit. But I guess in rotating our team for this game, before the kind of semi-final and the last knockout game, it ensures that we will have a fit team. I've really got to focus, I guess, on rotating my team in a way that means that when the final comes against Auckland City, we are ready and raring to go. The AI this year doesn't do as good a job of rotating their team. And as a result, I think we can kind of capitalise on that potentially. If Auckland City get to the final, they might be unfit. Rotating our players in this earlier stage, it's going to help our players stay fit. But we do need to play well here. And they're on the attack, and, well, they've scored. Oh dear. Solomon Warriors 1, Waitakere 0. Not ideal. We're down to third. I mean, I hope that we're not going to completely regret this kind of crazy change of players. We'll see how we get on. I mean, Rukumana, I guess that's his name with the cross. And then, is it Fenny or is it an own goal? Either way, it's not particularly great defending. Looking at the stadium, absolutely packed for this game, this neutral venue. We are on the attack here. O'Brien, Butler. Can we bounce back immediately? Can we crush them? Jalali misses a chance. The Canadian international at youth level, he's not really found his shooting boots here in New Zealand just yet, although he might have another chance here. 2 minutes after the last one, we're on the attack again. Ronnie Pickering, O'Ryan, Hicks, whips it in, back post, Foster. Probably should score, probably. Looking at the stats, we are dominating this game as you'd expect, but right now, 3 clear-cut chances not to score. I mean, when this starts to happen in FM, there's that voice in the back of your head that just starts talking that says, don't slip up, you're going to choke, Jack. This is it, you're throwing it away. I'm going to be FM'd, it's going to happen. I mean, looking at the stats, we are still dominating this game, so I'm pretty happy with how we're doing. I'm not going to change anything too drastically just yet. Just going to wait and see how this plays out. Just really don't want to get caught on the counter again, I guess. Although they are only playing with one striker, so we should defend well. And we are on the attack here. Hicks cuts inside, hits it. Lovely goal by Hicks. That's the kind of finish I want to see. A nice little turn inside. Found some space. Squeezed it in, I believe, at the near post. Questionable goalkeeping, perhaps. But yeah, completely sold his man, dribble around him. And just a nice little composed finish on the ground, into the corner. And we do get a goal. And I'm wondering who placed the Waitakere banners behind the goal, because there's no fans in that stand. So how did they get there? Answers on a postcard. If you've got to this point in the kind of video, I want you to leave a really in-depth kind of analysis and kind of story as to how the banners got there. It can be the most ludicrous thing you've ever written. Or you can just write banners. Just write one word banners if you don't want to get creative and tell me how they got there. That also qualifies you to prove that you are a loyal viewer. You don't just skip to the final like a boring person. You want to see the struggle as Jalali. He overcomes his struggle. That's his 4th of the season. He makes it 2-1. The comeback's complete. It really shouldn't be 2-1. It should be so much more comfortable. Looking at the stats, they've had one shot all game. Maybe it was the policeman who Blake put the banner. I mean, that's starting to make sense now. The fans are loving it in this corner. They've got their hands up in the air like they just don't care. It's 2-1 Waitakere. Of our starters, obviously, Rayner is one of our kind of more important players, so I'm going to sub him off at this point for Williams. In fact, no, we'll bring on Solomons, because Solomons is another one of our backup-ish players. Ryan Pickering's struggling a little bit, so we'll bring on Michael Morris now at the 62nd minute. Just make the 2 changes. I've kind of got in this habit, I guess, managing in New Zealand to just go crazy with subs at around the 60th minute. Because of the fact we can do kind of as many as we want, or up to 9. I've kind of got a little bit crazy when it goes to subs. But here we have to be a little bit more controlled. We only have 3. We've made 2 of them. I just want to get fresh legs on it. It's kind of important, I guess, to manage our squad here. And we're doing quite a good job of that. We're on the attack here. Morris, the sub, shoots, keeper saves. We do get the corner, but that was another chance. 6 clear-cut chances, 2 goals. Like, that's not the best conversion ratio. A little bit disappointing. However, it does look like we are going to win this game, I hope. I mean, it's 2-1 here. They've had that one shot and it's gone in. Jalali with a chance. Tries to chip the keeper. That was cheeky. The keeper did save it. Maybe that wasn't the end of the chance, though. Ruffer to Butler. Out wide to Hicks. Already 1 goal to his name. Inside to Jali. Nice layoff. Michael Morris. 3-1. We're home. We're dry. That's his 17th goal of the season for the centre mid. And yeah, cannot complain one little bit. We've been the better team throughout this game. We've had 7 clear-cut chances. It could be 7 or 8 at this point. We should be thrashing them, in all honesty. I guess playing our rotated team, perhaps it's not a complete surprise we've not dominated them in the same manner you might expect. But nevertheless, it's still a pretty, decent performance. I'm happy with how the players have turned up for this game, despite the lack of finishing. Obviously, perhaps we can pin some of the blame on Jalali. Perhaps Lovemore would take his chances, perhaps, with the likes of... I'm trying to think who our centre attacking mids are, with the likes of... oh gosh, let's just look at the bench. My brain's gone blank. Chettelberg, that was the name I was looking for. For some reason I wanted to call him Ruffelberg. That's because we have Alex Ruffer. He's one of our big players. I'm going to take him off for Chris James because he has played both games actually as well. So he's struggling for fitness. Now at 4-1. Pretty comfortable. I think Michael Morris was involved in the build-up here. He might have even got the goal, but Halucha with the ball in. It was Morris. Nice finish for him. His 2nd goal of the game coming on off the bench, I do believe. Could be on for a really quick hat-trick. He's got 2 goals in 3 minutes. Can he get another one to get the hat-trick in the last 10 minutes of the game? Doesn't look like it's going to happen, unfortunately, unless there's a late chance. We do maybe have a chance here. Foster, back post to Hicks. Cleared away. There's 30 seconds left. I mean, at this point, any goal is just going to be... well, not insignificant, I guess is the term. I was going to say pointless, but any goal is nice, build up some confidence. But here, it's not going to bear any significance on this game. This game's been over for a while. A little bit of a scare early on, going down 1 goal against a team like Solomon Warriors. Not the way you want to start the game, but we bounced back well there. Pretty pleased with the performance all in all. Looking at how the other results went, we are now top of the group. Unfortunately, Amicale, who we play in our last game, did get a win. So we do need to beat them still or draw to finish kind of top of our group. Worth noting that because we have won both of our games, we could still qualify as the best placed 2nd place team. I'm kind of secretly looking at Auckland City here, hoping they're going to slip up somehow and they're going to, well, draw, maybe lose. I mean, that would be great. I really don't want to have to play them in the final if it's at all avoidable. Unfortunately, the chances are we are going to have to play them. I guess that's the reality of the situation here. But anyway, we've got our last group stage game. We'll see how Auckland get on here. They're playing their group stage game. I'm not sure who they're playing against. They're playing against Hikari United, I guess that is. Spirit 2008 and Tafana drawing 2-2. It's weird seeing some of the nations in Oceanic because I just wouldn't know about them. I think the only one I can say I actually recognise is Tahiti. You guys might remember them. I think it was the Confederation Cup where they somehow beat New Zealand in the international kind of domestic competition. And as a result, they got to go to the Confederations Cup. And I think they were trying not to lose by more than double figures. Or rather, not get to double figures in their losses. I feel like that was quite a memorable thing, actually. And they scored a goal, if I remember correctly. That's the extent of my knowledge, however, of Oceania. Anyway, we'll continue on here. Last game of the group stage. I kind of want to check when the knockout stage would begin. So I'm going to have a hunt through the competition kind of rules. Because I'm pretty sure I can find it somewhere. But I just want to make sure... obviously going into this game, that we're prepared and that I know what the gap between this game and the next is potentially going to be. So looking at it here, the preliminary round we don't care about. Semi-finals, played between the 19th and 20th. So what day of the week is that? That's a little bit of a gap. It's about half a week, and then when is the final played? These are the important questions. The final is played on the 22nd. Okay. Well, that means there's not going to be much of a gap for whoever plays the later of the semi-finals. We want to get the early semi-final if we can. Looking at how we're going to play here against Amical, or how they're going to play, looking like they might play 5 at the back. That would be a little bit kind of try-hardy, would it not? Anyway, we'll kind of bring in our rotated team again. We can bring on a lot of the players who obviously rested last game, which is nice. I think we're also going to start Jake Butler for this game. Basilaj looking just about fit now, the goalkeeper. Pretty happy with our team. No real fitness issues for this game. And I'm pretty confident that given a little bit of a gap to the semi-final, the players will have recovered in time for the final. So yeah, delighted with how this is going so far. It's all going to plan, exactly how I envisaged it. I mean, the way I'm kind of envisaging this final at the moment is that this competition is that we get to the final and then probably lose to Auckland City because I can't beat them. I mean, if we beat them, fantastic. If we lose to them, I am going to cry quite a lot because it's going to be pretty heartbreaking, if I'm honest. But we'll see how we get on. 0-0, of course, in this game. That would be good enough for us. I mean, I say 0-0. It's kick-off, Jack. Of course it's 0-0. But 0-0 is a result that would be fine for us. The situation really here is if we win, we finish top of the group, no problem. If we draw, we finish top. If we lose, we'll be second place with 6 points, which will probably, but not definitely, be enough to see us secure a spot in the next stage as the highest placed second place team. But let's not even consider at that. Let's just win this game comfortably. Like that, 59 seconds in, we get our first goal. Paxton Gorski with the goal. Chelberg with the assist. And the two wingers linking up with each other really nicely there. A ball from one side of the pitch to the other. And then Gorski, who of course joined us on a free, wasn't wanted in America. We offered him the opportunity to come to New Zealand for a vacation. And he's enjoying his vacation right here. A nice little header. Not the tallest player in the world, Gorski, out on the wing. But not really challenged there. And a nice goal. And unbelievably, looking at that 3D replay, the stadium for this game is more empty than it was for the previous one. I don't know if I want to check the attendances of this competition because I can't see them being particularly great. Anyway, we're on the attack again here. Mike Morris, can he make it 2? He can. It's 2-0 after 2 minutes. I thought this was going to be the toughest of the group stage games, if I'm honest. And I now feel a little bit silly, having played my full strength team here. I kind of wish I could just take off a few players now. I mean, if we make it 3-0 in the first 10 minutes, then I'm going to be absolutely delighted, to be honest. It gives me a chance to, again, crack out the deck chair, get a cocktail out on the sideline, drink it with, one of those glasses, the fancy ones with the umbrellas in, and soak up some rays on my little New Zealand vacation. Lovemore with the goal that time. It's now 3-0 after 7 minutes. I'm going to have to start skipping the 3D highlights, I feel. Otherwise, we could be here a while, depending on how many goals there are. But this is what I expected the Oceanic Champions League to be. I expected us to thump teams. I expected us to win. Double figures was my dream. If we had a few games that went to double figures, fantastic. I mean, Lovemore's offside there. He's been denied his second of the game. But yeah, I guess that's the aim here. Double figures, the dream. Reniga, can he whip in the ball? He can't. But Chelberg can. Unfortunately, finds their defender. But the ball is cleared absolutely terribly by them. And we're on the attack again. Butler and James, the New Zealand combo in the midfield. Looking for Morris on ahead. Can't find him, but the ball will find its way to Chelberg. Whips in the ball. Gorski, already 1 goal to his name. Defended quite well there by the Amical defender. Looking at this, we are dominating the game. I wonder how many shots we've had on target between all the matches. I think it might be 1 so far, and that was the goal last game. We've defended quite well, really. As much as I want to criticise the team for going a goal down against the Solomon Warriors, it's hard to stay angry when you consider how well we actually have performed here. Granted, obviously we do have superior quality, but we're looking very good at the moment to potentially, maybe, just maybe, win our first kind of Oceanic Champions League and our first Champions League. I say our first Oceanic Champions League, like we'll be continuing on here. If we win the Champions League, we're getting straight off this island and looking for our next venture, I guess, in the HEXAGON Challenge, which 10 episodes in would be a pretty decent achievement as we do get a 4th here. This is now a little bit too convincing. I'm actually going to turn off the highlights of 3D for this game. I'll have to try and remember to turn them on for the next leg. Or for the semi-final, I should say. But I don't feel like they're entirely necessary just at the moment. But anyway, we're on the attack again here. Reniga to Chelberg to make it 5. Michael Morris with the goal. He's loving it. His 20th of the season. He's enjoyed this competition. 2 goals and 1 assist for the man. Chettelberg with 2 assists. Gorski and Lovemore 2. All 4 of our kind of attacking players, our striker and Lovemore, and our attacking midfielders, they're just enjoying this game, aren't they? 5-0. Going to tell the players I'm very pleased with their performance. They look absolutely delighted with that, and I'm pretty delighted with them too. 5-0. This is the performance we wanted in the other games. You know, last game when we had 7 clear-cut chances and scored 3. This game we've got more goals than clear-cut chances. I don't know if that's a testament to us or is an indication of how bad Amicale have been in this game. They're still yet to have a shot on target, which is kind of impressive. And we do have the ball again here on the attack. 60 minutes in, still 5-0. Double figures the dream. James to Morris, to Chettelberg, to Lovemore. BB, what a name, with the save. He says BB. I don't know why I'm saying that. But when he calls for his name, okay, BB, and he's in goal, do you reckon he sounds like a car saying beep beep? Because like, if he shouted his name when the ball's in the air and I'm the referee, I'm thinking he's shouting random stuff to try and put off the players. Unfortunately, we've just scored a very weird goal and BB is going to be saying bye-bye to this competition because we've just scored a weird goal. I almost want to see that goal in 3D. I'm not going to get too upset about it, but I think a cross hit the crossbar there and then came to our attacker. It's now 7-0. Chettelberg gets the goal that he perhaps deserves. Going to make some changes here. Who are the players struggling? Jake Butler's struggling, but he's not really one of our big first team players. I think we're going to take off Chris James here and bring on Hicks. I'm going to bring on Pickering for Morris, who's now got his hat-trick. I'm sorry, Morris. And I'm also going to bring on Jalali. Just kind of rotate our 3 kind of most important players in my eyes from this game. There's no point in keeping them on for the extra 25 minutes. I'd rather have them as close as possible to 100% condition for the kind of semi-final and the final, which come in short succession. And as soon as I've made the change, we concede. Which I don't know. Is that a testament to how important those players are for us, or have we just switched off in this game thinking that we've won? I think it's probably a little bit of both here. But with 10 minutes left, no subs left to do, we can just watch the clock unwind. We are going to win our group stage flawlessly, which is kind of what we expected. But still pleasing to do it. I feel like there's always that element of doubt, that voice in the back of your head that says you're going to screw up somehow. But today that voice has been shut up, at least for now. And we're still on the attack. We could still get 10. Edwards to Hicks. Chettelberg to Pickering. Back post. Pickering hits the post. I mean, Ryan Pickering had an amazing season last year for Young Boys. I think it's Young Boys or the young team in our league. It's Young something or other. I can't remember. But he had quite a good season for them last year. He was kind of one of the big standout players in our division. I signed him. Been pretty woeful for us. He did get injured, to be fair, but despite his miss, it's a 7-1 win and it's pretty convincing. We finished top of our league. The other semi-final yet to be played, but we do qualify for the semi-final, which is really good stuff. Hudson spotted for this game. He's scouting out a few of our players for the New Zealand squad. That would be pretty cool if they made appearances. Michael Morris, the big standout performer in that game, really did well. Got a hat-trick from attacking midfield. Solomon Warriors, if they win this game, they could still qualify for the... Well, I was going to say they could still qualify for the semi-finals. I don't think they actually could have done. I think I've lied there. Right, we now need to continue on. It says our next game is in the Premiership. That's not true. It's just a case of continuing on for the other group stages to finish. And then we'll continue on with them in Oceania. I'm actually going to send all my players on a rest again. They're still on a rest from before. Let's give them another week-long rest. I'm going to give the entire team the rest this time. We can't. Who have I selected who's out on loan? Judd Baker. Will this work now? Nope. Who have I selected who can't rest? Or is it because the players are already on rest? Oh, Williams. You should be able to rest Williams still. Maybe it's because the other players are resting. Maybe we have to continue forward a day or two. Auckland City doing their job though. I think I saw them win 4-0 there. Yeah, they did. So they are into the semi-final. I hope we don't get drawn against them. That could be a thing that happens. And if it did, I'd be pretty upset. But at the same time, I guess we have to face them at some point. So why not take them on in the semi-finals? Looking like in this group stage, we're just waiting on one more game to be played. Which I don't think is going to have a massive bearing on the competition. And who is going to be the team getting into the semi-final who finished second? It's going to be this team, which I'm not going to be able to say. Hyengane Sport? Hyengane Sport? Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? We'll go with that. They got 6 points actually, and so did AS Venus. That was a weird group. A lot of the teams beating one another. Anyway, the draws now. We don't want Auckland City. That's all we don't want. Please don't give us Auckland City. Please. Auckland City will play. Okay, that's okay. We're going to take on AS Venus. We're at home, or in the home dressing room, I guess. We're going to be taking on a team from Tahiti. I think that's how you say the nation. We're taking them on a Wednesday as well. So I believe we did get the earlier semi-final, which is good. It gives us more recovery time for the final. So the FM gods right there have looked down and smiled on us just a little bit. Looking at the player condition, it's pretty high, but I want to get it as high as possible. So I'm going to send the players on a rest again. I've not actually tested to see if resting players is quicker than, well, letting them train fitness. I think it would be pretty hit and miss. I think from my general knowledge of it, resting probably is slightly better, but it might impact match sharpness a little bit. I should really test that at some point, because it's just, I always rest players, especially this year in FM. It's something that I've done a lot. But how are we looking here? 100% condition, they're all thereabouts. We're pretty darn close, aren't we? Mike Morris here, potentially one of the best players at the club, or has the potential to be. He probably already is our best player at our club. I love the fact the fans have taken to him. Have the fans taken to any of our other players? Not really checked that while we've been here. Michael Morris they like. They also like Aaron Scott, who left. I sold him, didn't I? And also they like Danny Robinson, who I also sold. I didn't really talk about the sales this year. There were a few players who went out, but they weren't really of massive significance. So, no, we don't really have any legends still at the club. Only Michael Morris. He's a fan favourite, this guy. He scored some pretty big goals for us. Maybe he can get some big goals for us here. We're taking on AS Venus. Is the name I'm going to give this team, even though that's probably not how you pronounce it. But we're going to take them on here in the semi-final. They're setting up pretty defensively, I think it's fair to say. We're going to always mark their strikers tightly and show them onto their weaker foot. And yeah, we'll go with that. I'm pretty hopeful that we can do well here. Going to tell the players I expect them to keep the run going. Having this earlier semi-finals pretty nice. Of course, we have got to make it to the final. But it will mean that the team we play have only had really the Friday to allow their players to recover from this game. So that could leave us in quite a nice situation. But I'm looking for a professional job here. One of their players getting booked early on. That's pretty nice to see. If we could get him sent off, that would be fantastic. But anyway, 3 minutes in, we're on the attack here. Chettelberg, options in the middle. Gorski back post. Fires it in. A dream start to this semi-final. Paxton Gorski linking up again with Chettelberg. Those two players, they are definitely on the same wavelength on either wing. Let's turn on our 3D highlights again and hope that this time we're not going to see a load of goals. Although we could well see a load of goals. I believe this team, they won 2 and lost 1 game, but they were in the easy group of this competition where they didn't have to play a New Zealand team. And as a result, we should really be beating them. And well, we are beating them. It's 2-0. We've had 2 shots, 2 clear-cut chances. This is the kind of clinicalness that I want to see. And you know what? That game, the second game of the group stage where we had 7 clear-cut chances, going to put that behind us because I'd much rather see this kind of clinicalness, if that's even a word. Clinicality? What is the word I'm looking for? I think it's clinicalness. That doesn't sound right though, does it? But basically, this is where we need to be this deadly in front of goal. This is where we need to score with every shot. You know, in the group stage, as long as we win, I'm pretty happy. And Gorski with a chance here. Flicks onto Morris. The keeper made an interesting save there. I thought Morris was going to get on the end of it for the goal. Unfortunately, the keeper denying him. Although the keeper's given us a gift. And now we're on the attack here. Lovemore. Can he add to his goal tally? Unselfishly to Gorski. Player on the overlap on the left. Butler, though, switches it to Chettelberg, who shoots and scores. That is a lovely finish. It's 3-0 here. We're loving it. We're loving it. Butler with the assist. I decided to play Butler here. I think instead of Ruffer. Or was it Ruffer? I dropped Ruffer. Well, I say I dropped Ruffer. My assistant decided to drop him. I kind of feel with those midfielders, it's all kind of a bit play whichever player's kind of in hot form. I guess it's a good problem to have, isn't it, having this many creative players in our midfield. We might make some changes, obviously, in this game. We're dominating quite a lot. Maybe come this 60th minute, our key players I'll just take off. There's no point in risking them in this kind of game. We can just allow them to get back to full fitness, especially if it's still 3-0 with 60 minutes left. You know, I'll be pretty content to rotate our team. But this is looking like it's going to be a very, impressive performance, but just the job that was needed. A professional performance. Gorski scores. It's 4-0. I hate to say it this early on, but this is over. Gorski with our hat-trick, I think, as well. That's a pretty good return from you, Paxton. In fact, no, it's not his hat-trick. I've been lied to. It's his second of the game. He's probably going to get his hat-trick anyway. I'm just speaking a little bit too soon. I feel like there's a few new fans here. That's more fans than we had last game. I get the feeling there's perhaps some bandwagoners. You know, they've turned up, they've seen that we're doing well, they just want to watch the semi-final. And I can't blame them, because it's now 5-0. Maybe we'll get double figures this game. Chettelberg with an assist again. I don't know how many he's got this match, but he's got 1 goal to his name. He must have 2 or 3 assists at least at this point. But just another really good goal. Chettelberg down the line, whips it in. And then Sean Lovemore, ball at a little bit of an awkward height, but he buried it well. Makes it 5-0, 34 minutes in. And yeah, you can see Chettelberg with 3 assists. Paxton Gorski and Lovemore going for their hat-trick. I feel like at the highest level of football, when 2 players get hat-tricks, when it happens once in a blue moon, there's kind of 2 footballs that can be shared, you know, with like the ball boys and stuff. They obviously have backup footballs in modern day football. I kind of imagine that in this competition, they just have the 1 ball that they play with. So in some ways, I hope Paxton and Sean, you know, they don't both get hat-tricks. Because I don't want a rift in the changing room over the hat-trick ball when it comes. Because it is going to happen. I've got faith at this point. I believe that we're going to get the hat-trick. Whilst I was rambling there, they actually had a clear-cut chance that they missed. But it's all a little bit arbitrary at this point. I feel like I might just sub off Paxton and Lovemore. Michael Morris is the player with the lowest on fitness, so we'll bring on Ruther for him. Defensively, our defenders look a little bit tired. I'm going to bring on Tim Myers, I think, for Michael Williams. Michael Williams, one of our big defenders, joined us in January, the 18-year-old American. Kind of just goes a little bit under the radar, I guess. He does a job for us, a really good job. But on a yellow card, one of the players with lower fitness in the starting 11, I don't really want to not have him for the final suspended. So we're going to take him off here, be sensible. And I don't think it's going to have a massive bearing on this game. At 5-0, this game is pretty much all said and done. I don't think there's going to be much more in the way of drama for this game. It's been a really professional performance, and we've kind of maintained this level of performance throughout the entire competition, which is pleasing. I just hope that we don't allow too much complacency, I guess, to sneak into our game, which is kind of possible considering the opposition we've been playing, because this last game that we have to play after this one is going to be the big test. It's against Auckland City, a team I'm still yet to beat. It's not happened. And I really want it to happen today. This is the game where I guess it matters that we beat them. It matters that we take chances like that one Lovemore squandered. Because I've lost to these a lot. We lost them in the ASB Chatham Cup final last year. We lost to them in the league last year, I believe, whilst I was in charge. Lost to them in the league this year. We did also draw against them. But they're a team that we need to beat, and I really want to beat. I mean, this is all assuming they reach the final. That is a weird goal we've just conceded. Bruno Devondale, is that his name? We'll go with it. But the answer that's on the postcard for this goal, it's a cross, and I think it's going in, and then does the keeper drop it? Yeah, that happened. I can't explain that one to you, but it's gone in. But we are looking good here. 5-1 in the semi-final. I mean, it's expected, but at the same time, delighted. I think we'll take off Chettelberg. Yeah, we'll take off Chettelberg. Looking at it, Rayner's struggling a little bit with fitness. I don't know if he's taken a knock. I don't think he has. So that's a little bit disappointing. But this is the team we will go with for now. I mean, I say go with for now. It's 8 minutes. 8 minutes to hold on. 8 minutes to do our job. I feel like this episode, I struggled a little bit for things to say. But, I mean, what can I say? I'm absolutely buzzing at the moment. I mean, these games have been a little bit easy. Perhaps I wouldn't have done these all as live comms upon reflection. But at the same time, it's nice to just bask in some success. It's nice for you guys to see the team perform, kind of see the characters emerge. See the likes of Mike Morris down the middle banging in hat-tricks. See the likes of Chettelberg out on the right. I feel like that's something we've perhaps lacked a little bit with this team, just because we've not been at the club for that longer a period of time, and the league has been a little bit underwhelming. But anyway, we've reached the final there. Good performance. You can see, looking at the competition top goal scorers, we actually have the top 3 at the moment, which is kind of nice, although Auckland City with a few players hot on our tails. But yeah, 5-1, good result, pretty happy with that. We're into the semi-final. Last year, Team Wellington won this competition against Auckland, so there is still hope for us. But I kind of secretly hope that Auckland lose in this semi-final by some kind of miracle and give us a nice easy final against the other team. That's the dream, isn't it? I can't see it happening. If you want to screw up Auckland, that'd be great. I don't want to play them. They've won 2-0. They didn't actually win that convincingly looking at it. I mean, statistically, actually, yeah, they dominated the game, to be fair to them. But at the same time, they could be taking us on in the final here. Our players are still resting. Obviously, we've got 2 days break into this game. They've only had the 1 day. They've only had the Friday off. So that could hopefully benefit us. We have, of course, won this competition twice as well in the past. I want to win it if possible. I'm just wondering if our reputation's increased in this competition so far. It hasn't really, which is a shame. I guess to win this final would hopefully help a little bit. It's going to be taking on Auckland City here. A big game in our Hexagon. Our autosave kicking in every 2 days, of course. Or every 2 weeks, autosaves kicking to save saves. If you don't have autosaves on, go turn them on, put it as save new save every time. I have mine on every fortnight. Of course, the first time we saved this game was right at the start of the entire thing. And, well, I'm hoping we don't lose here against Auckland City. I don't want to lose. I really don't. I hate the Hexagon Challenge or the Pentagon or however you want to look at it, because you get to these finals, these games, and basically you have 6 finals that you know you've got to win. This is one of the 6. And these are always the most nervy games in the world. They're always the games where you're just a little bit worried. How have our players recovered? Okay, they've recovered really well. 90% condition and above. How are Auckland looking? Please be really unfit. That is fantastic. That's what I want to see. Lots of 60s and 70s. So if this game goes the whole way, we're going to be happy. Right, the team for this game. This is a big game. Reina's out suspended. Brilliant. Tim Myers will come in that case. And then we'll bring in Halavan. But looking at our team, it's difficult to argue with this lineup, although I'm going to bring on, I think, Ruther for James. This is the team. I'm going to go with Basilage in goal, the New Zealand goalkeeper. He's done fairly well for us this year. We're then going to go with Reniga at right back, the assist machine. Right centre back, Michael Williams, the man who goes under the radar. Nice player, though. We're going to bring in Tim Myers, who's a very, very good centre back, no denying that. And he is obviously going to be playing alongside Williams. At left back, we go with Charlton Athletics, Archie Edwards, enjoying his time in New Zealand with us. Centre defensive mid, I don't want to go with Jake Butler. I want to go with Chris James. And then at right centre mid, we are going to go with Alex Ruther. On the right wing, Chettelberg, the assists machine, the 27-year-old New Zealander. On the left wing, we go with Paxton Gorski, a very similar player. 2 very fast players out on the wings. Hopefully that will play into our advantage, especially against a tired Auckland City. Centre attacking mid, Michael Morris. Up front, the one and only Sean Lovemore. This guy, been in pretty good goal scoring form. I'm hoping he can bring that into today's final. I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't nervous for this game, but I'm pretty optimistic here. I feel like we have a good team. I don't know. We've lost to these guys a lot. I'm going to be honest. I want to beat them really badly. And today might be the day. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. Quite spaced out. Their team's going to be pretty exhausted, as we've already discussed. Going to be trying to show their players onto the weaker foots, particularly the players in the final thirds. I'm a little bit paranoid about Moreira. He's always caused us troubles in that centre attacking mid-role. So we'll see how we get on. We might have to change our system just a little bit to kind of, I guess, counter him. I'm going to tell the players here that I want them to avenge what happened last time. Last time, of course, we played Auckland was 2 episodes ago in the league and we lost 1-0. That's still fresh in our players' minds. But we come into this game fairly hot. We do have the advantage of being slightly fitter. And well, let's get into it. This is a big game. I'm now nervous. If I start nervously rambling, if I start sitting on edge, I'm sorry. If I just go quiet because I'm sucked into the world of FM. But this is a big game in terms of the Hexagon Challenge. We performed fantastic throughout. We won the league over Auckland City. Now let's just put one final nail in the coffin of this Auckland City side. Beat them in this final. Show them what we're made of. And then, well, we will have done 1/6 of this challenge. Looking at it here, 0-0, 36th minute, no chances. We are, of course, playing in red and white. And we do have the ball here. Going out wide, although Antonio Carlos with the interception, and now they're going to come up with the ball. Jimenez to Mariah, the player who I've kind of highlighted as a man for us to watch out for, and he does pull some strings, and he does well there, although we do defend well, but James winning it, that was well played in the end. I thought James had screwed it up, but he did keep hold of the ball. Morris with the ball through, Lovemore, hits the post, rebound is cleared. Oh, if I get loud this game, I'm sorry. That was a great ball by Mike Morris through. Lovemore couldn't apply the finishing touch, although Morris at the edge of the box. James out on the left. Can he whip in a better ball this time? Myers back post. Williams scores. Let's go. 1-0. Michael Williams with the goal. He goes under the radar. He doesn't get many goals. But I'll tell you what, he's just scored one there in the biggest game of his career, the 18-year-old American. It's 1-0. And I thought the chance had gone when we hit the post, but we bounced back well. Myers with the flick on the player who wasn't set to start until Rayner got suspended. And in a twist of fate, he plays a vital role in that goal. Looking at it, Auckland City yet to have a shot on target. Let's keep that. Let's not let them have chances. I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. Their opposition, fitness, not going to be great. In fact, it's going to be incredibly poor. And we want to capitalise on that if we can. I want to pause it in just a second and then look at their overview. And I just want to check their player fitnesses, because I'm curious to see how they're looking. Okay, their defence is absolutely exhausted. That's fantastic to see. That's what I want to see. A tired defence for us to hopefully run out. Although we do still need to defend. They have the ball here. But James, who played a role in our first goal with the tackle and then the clearance. And we do get the ball clear. And now can we defend again? Because they do have the ball. Big ball booted up. Keeper collect that. Basilage, fantastic save there. Now can the keeper get the ball forward? He can. Lovemore, route one, I like it. Ruffer, out wide on the right. Chettelberg there, the assist machine, running. Whips in, Lovemore with the flick on. It's 2-0. Let's go, boys. Sean Lovemore, 32nd goal of the game. And take a bow. Chettelberg, well, you've seen what he's capable of. He's been a great player this year. Him and Lovemore really linked up well. And he's done it again there. Chettelberg, I don't know how many assists he's got in this competition, but it's a very large amount, and it's 2-0 here. We are looking very good right now, although we still need to stay switched on. Auckland City on the attack. And that is a fantastic tackle. Who was that by? Number 18. Was that Williams? It was Myers, who was already on a booking, so he did exceptionally well there. 52nd minute, though. We do need to stay switched on, despite how tired they are. We are going to suffer perhaps towards the end of the game just a little bit. But at the moment, we're looking very good, but there's still time. I don't want to count my eggs before they hatched, or count my chickens before my hatch. You're allowed to count your eggs, just not the chickens. Lovemore. Not a great finish. Not a great finish, to say the least. 25 minutes left. I might look to make a sub in a second. Might bring on some pace in the final third. I might even take off Myers, who's on a yellow. A little bit concerned about that. But Chettelberg here, out wide. Can he whip in the ball? He can. Gorski's there, off the line, and the keeper. It doesn't matter, it's in. I don't know how it's gone in. We're going to find out in 3D. Antonio Carlos, Auckland City's big player. I believe he scored the goal that made them beat us in the league game earlier on in the year. And okay, we've seen some glitchy physics there, because that hit the crossbar, then hit the ground and got stuck instead of bouncing. But either way, I'm not going to complain. Sometimes those glitches and those bugs, they go in your favour. Other times they don't. And for Auckland City today, they've most certainly not gone in their favour. So anyway, let's make some changes here. Let's bring on Tim Myers on for Solomons. I think, do I want to take off Gorski? Gorski hasn't had the best game. I'm going to take off Myers as well. There's no point in risking a second booking. And then I think we're also going to bring on Pickering for Lovemore. So that's how we'll go. 3-0 up here, though. We've not beaten Auckland City. I never beat them. I wanted to beat them today. I wanted to give a great performance in the match that really mattered against them. And that's what we've done. And I guess this is why we're the best team in New Zealand. And we almost score again. The woodwork saving Auckland City for a second time this match. Although we know what happened last time. We scored from the set piece. Unfortunately here, we're not going to make the most of that chance time. Ticking away, though, at 3-0. I don't want to say it's over just yet, but I think it might be over here. And we've done this emphatically. We've been great kind of team-wise. We've signed some really nice players. They've had really big impacts. And Mike Morris, Hicks with the goal. A player who was here when we started. Makes it 4-0. That is game, set and match. Waitakere United. And that is 1-6 for the Pentagon done, boys. I'm delighted by that. I was worried at the start of this challenge. And I kind of feel like this is a thing at the start of the Pentagon or Hexagon. Especially if you get sacked in your first job. But it's a long road back to try and win your next Champions League. And once you win one or two, they can kind of start to snowball a little bit. So to get some momentum here, fantastic stuff. We win. We've won the Oceanic Champions League. We've won the New Zealand Top Flight. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish my season here with Waitakere before resigning, or if I just want to leave in a blaze of glory now. I think I might wait until the end of the season. But either way, right there, We've won the OFC Champions League. Fantastic stuff. Board confidence sky high. The supporters praise me. We celebrate a double. Unfortunately, we, of course, got knocked out in the cup stage. So we can't do the treble. The fans are delighted. Michael Williams, man of the match. Squad bonuses. They've got £100 between them. Don't spend it all at once, boys. Chittelberg, most assists. Lovemore, most goals. We won the competition. What a performance. And, well, we've left it with Auckland City's manager absolutely fuming, apparently, after the hammering. And not only have we beaten them in the league, we've beaten them in the OFC Champions League. And now I can leave. I can go on my merry little way to my next adventure. We are going to wait, I think, to the end of the season because I don't think I've got the trophy yet for winning the league. Maybe it's because maybe I haven't got the one for the Champions League. We'll continue once, but either way, I want to make sure I get, the acknowledgement for winning both competitions. I guess we can check my biography if we can find it. But fantastic. Delighted. As I said, I was worried after we got sacked from our first job because the start of this challenge is always the hardest bit. And so to do what we've done here is pretty darn pleasing. I'm not sure how we get the biography panel up. I feel like it might be one where I have to play the game in full screen for it to show. Let's move to full screen. This might bug out my resolution. That didn't work. It's probably bugged out on your screen too. I need to work out where the biography is. It's a mystery. Wherever it is, though, I will find it to show you guys eventually. But yeah, we've done that. Fantastic. I don't know where we're going to go next. I'm thinking maybe Africa or Asia. We'll have to see kind of where our rep lies, what jobs are available, I guess. But yeah, fantastic. New Zealand, we were only here for a year, but we won the Champions League and we did it pretty convincingly and with a nice young team that was kind of developed and, some of our signings really did play a key role in the side. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this for episode 10. Hopefully you did enjoy this longer episode. Got a little bit emotional, got a little bit carried away, I guess, in the Oceanic Champions League final, but delighted to absolutely hammer Auckland City there. And yeah, our time in New Zealand has come to a fairly short end. We'll have to see what jobs we can get next time. The club finances a little bit in the red, so that's going to be a problem, but it's not going to be our problem, I guess, is the way of looking at it somewhat selfishly. If you have enjoyed this episode, guys, as I mentioned right at the start, if we could hit 1,000 likes, that would be incredible. I'd really appreciate your love on this series. If you've enjoyed this so far, share the series with a friend who plays FM. Let them know what's going on. Maybe introduce them to the HEXAGON or Pentagon Challenge. And other than that, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go lie down. And hopefully, I'll see you guys next time. It is me, Jack. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.